Well, hello there. Thank you for joining me on this third day of August 2011, which is a Wednesday. So I had today off of class, no class. Lots of reading today. I read a total of 32 pages from the textbook, which was 2 chapters. I finished chapter 1 yesterday, which was about emotional awareness. Talked about a guy named Carl Jung, about the parts of the brain, stuff like that. Chapter 2 was self-assessment, and this covered 5 different things. Section 1 of Chapter 2 was cognitive learning styles, so about the different learning styles, like, are you a visual learner, are you an auditory learner, or like a hands-on kind of person. Lots of stuff on that. The second part was brain dominance theory, so this was like along the lines of like the left side of the brain, the right side of the brain, things like that, which there's like, it's kind of like that, but not really. It's like both parts work together, but sometimes, like the left brain is more analytical and mathematical, and the right side is more like artistic and free-flowing. And they work together, but sometimes you'll use a little bit more from whichever one, which is, lots of interesting stuff there again. The third part was measuring intelligence. Talked about IQ and EQ, which IQ is, of course, your intelligence quotient, and then EQ is your emotional intelligence quotient, which they say that people with a higher EQ in the workplace generally outperform those with a higher IQ. So even if, you may not have the highest IQ in the world, because I don't even know what it is. I've never even taken the SAT. So, but point is, if you have a really high EQ, if you're really positive, if you're, uplifted a lot and you're on your way to enlightenment or whatever you want to call it, then generally you're gonna do a lot better. Just because you're happy, you know what I mean? Everything I read today was about just trying to teach us how to, and a lot of it was stuff that I'd kind of figured out, but this really put it into words. And then the people behind it, of course, sort of the history behind it. But it's really all about how to stay positive and how to just be happy, and not worry about stress too much, how to take care of it. But anyway, that was the measuring intelligence. Then they talked about a guy named Howard Gardner, which I can't remember what he did. I have to study. And then there was the summary of the chapter, which, of course, summarizes the chapter. So chapter 2, slam-packed, 16 pages. It took me maybe 3 hours to get through it all, because I figured out that what I have to do is I'll read a section and then take a break for a few minutes to refresh and kind of think about it, kind of digest what I just read, and then I'll go back and read the next section and just rinse and repeat, basically. And this seems to work out pretty well. And with the electronic textbook, you can use a little highlighter tool and highlight stuff, and then you can put sticky notes in there as well. And it's cool because it's just a small icon. You click on the icon, and then it blows up to an actual sticky note. So you're not like taking up actual page space with your stickies. So that's really cool. And of course, you can always save the document when you've made changes to it to keep your notes and your highlighted parts and whatnot. So yeah, it was chapter 2, and then chapter 4 was entitled Self-Management, and this dealt a lot with the stress and stuff. The first section was the importance of self-control, and actually, if you over-control yourself, it can actually be a bit more detrimental than beneficial. And I thought that was interesting. And it talks about how you shouldn't learn how to you don't control your emotions, but you control your reaction to your emotions. That's the key here. Is you don't, like, you're allowed to get mad, but what you do because you get mad is the part that you have to learn how to control. Like, if you get angry at something, you shouldn't. And it depends on the situation. Like, if you're at work and you get angry because someone didn't do their job, so you can't do your job, like, obviously you're allowed to get mad and upset, but you can't, like, go and punch the guy in the face. You know what I mean? You can't do that. So it's really about learning how to control your reactions to your emotions, and then recognizing which emotion you're feeling, because a lot of times they're, all mixed and stuff. So, good stuff there. And it talked about 3 important people: Walter Cannon, Walter Mischel, and Julian B. Rotter. And all these guys, they did a lot of research back in the day about, like, personalities, behavior, like why people behave the way they do, stuff like that. It was really a lot of good information, I thought, because for chapter 2 I had to do the break thing, but once I got into chapter 4, which was about the behaviors and like why people do the things they do, and how to deal with the stress and whatnot, it had a whole huge part on the fight or flight mechanism that's built into our bodies and brains. And I was totally hooked. I was interested. Like, I read maybe chapter 4, I did like 10, 12 pages in a row, because I remember I stopped for a couple hours to do laundry and whatnot, and then I came back and finished that while the clothes were going. And I only had 4 pages left at the end of the chapter, because I just went for it. It was really interesting, I thought. It had a lot of good stuff. And it talked about, like, what's the name? Rotter. This guy came up with, like, a mathematical formula on how to predict how someone is going to behave in a given situation. It's like, behavior potential is a function of expectancy and reinforcement value. Yeah, and so, of course, earlier in the book, it explains what all this stuff is. Like, reinforcement value is a measure of how desirable an outcome is to an individual. Interesting stuff. Expectancy is the belief in a behavior's likelihood to achieve a particular outcome. So all this stuff has to do with, like, what we're going to choose, like, what behavior we're going to choose to exert or use in a given situation and time. So it was pretty cool. I'm digging it so far. And the homework was, of course, to read 1, 2, and 4, just to have a background on what we're going to cover in class tomorrow. So I really wonder how many other people actually sat and took today to read all the chapters, because I did. I read every single page for each chapter that we had to do, and I went and highlighted stuff, the important stuff. I'm feeling really accomplished today. It's great stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'm really excited to actually talk about and use all the stuff that I've read, because, like, the online class, I read the stuff, and then I had to do the worksheets. But this time, it's actually getting involved with it, and I think that's really cool, to really get involved with it and whatnot, and actually have a conversation about it. And I'm going to get there pretty early tomorrow. I'm going to make a sheet for the study group thing, because I'm going to need to do the study group. And I'm trying to figure out, like, are flashcards going to work for me, which I don't think they are. I'm going to, tomorrow in class, I tried to take notes with a pencil and paper the other day, and it didn't work, so I'm going to try to use this thing tomorrow, just because it's a lot faster to type than it is to write, and it's also a lot neater. I'll be honest with you. My handwriting, I can read it. Other people can read it, but I don't prefer it. If I don't have to write, I'd rather not. I did enough of that in high school, And also the reason for using this and not the computer is because in this class, the behavioral science class, it's not totally a computer-based class. It is. But for example, all the worksheets that we have to do, we have to have them printed off. And have our name on it and whatnot. So, and there's parts of the class where she asks us, go ahead and put your computer away. You won't need it. So I'm bringing the iPad to take notes on. So I'll actually be able to, because I can't have my computer out, the whole time. And I downloaded the it's like, what's it called? It's like the PowerPoint slides, but it's not PowerPoint. It's something else. Well, it's a PDF. About each chapter and stuff. And tomorrow in class, like I said, we're covering chapters 2 and 4, because we already covered the first one yesterday. So, like I said, I'm excited. And there's some worksheets that these slides talk about that I don't have, which I downloaded. I do have it, but I need to go ahead and print that off tonight and fill it out. just to have it, to be safe, because I'm really trying to be on top of stuff here. And I'm assuming that tomorrow's homework is going to be chapters 7 and 9, because that's what I have here in my folder. It's first half materials is what it says. It's got the syllabus and then chapters 1, 2, 4, 7, and 9. And it's all like the note slides and whatever. So that's cool. I'm really hyped about the group project. I know I mentioned it yesterday, but I'm pretty excited about getting to, actually really meet some people. Which the study group is going to help with too. My study group is probably going to be different than my actual project group, and we'll see how that works. But yeah, I think what I was getting around to is I'm going to go ahead and make a paper or something, and I can't figure out if I should have people write their number on it, or if I just give my number to people and they call me if they want to get together to study. My big problem is I definitely want to do a study group, but I don't want people over my house. So I'm trying to think of a place on campus that I could have 5 to 10 people meet up, or however many want to show, because a lot of people probably have another class going on, and then that's the other problem, is picking a time where people can show up. So we'll see how that works out. I'm gonna show up like a half hour early tomorrow so I can talk to Rain and see what she thinks about it, because I'm definitely trying to do the study group. I do need it, and I'm sure others do as well, to talk about all the stuff. The way I think that I could do the study groups is just talk about the stuff. I guess not just do flashcards and ask questions and answer questions, boring stuff, but really just have a conversation about it, because that's the best way I find to learn stuff is whenever I'm reading it and then to actually use it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you learn a new word. You know what I mean? If you learn a word I learned a couple days ago from my friend Mina, serendipity. It's to go looking for something, but then you find something else that's actually better for you than what you had intended to find. And it's if you don't use the word a lot when you actually first learn it or say it to yourself, you're probably not going to remember it, especially the weird stuff. But I mean, that's an exaggeration, obviously, because this is a lot of content. It's not just a word, but you get my point. Trying to make a good analogy here. Get off my back. But yeah, point is, the school is a lot of work. You can't play around. I did literally read all day today. I got the clothes done finally. Yeah, it was a good day today. I decided for my lecture application, I've been working on a piece of music, and it's obviously somewhat distracting from my schoolwork a little bit, which I'm not letting it, but it was something that I would work on during breaks. But I decided to go ahead and I'm gonna burn that onto a CD or do something, flash drive it, to turn it in tomorrow. Basically, the thing I uploaded to YouTube the other day. Excuse me. Yeah, the thing I uploaded the other day, post Phenom, is basically what I'm gonna turn in. And in just that segment, there's way more to it now. I've been writing like crazy. So yeah, I've got a lot more of that song to go before I reach my goal. But I'm just gonna turn that in because it's really good. I think it definitely symbolizes one of my hurdles, because I've got to focus on school, and yeah, this school is for the music and stuff, but that's not what this class is about, And that's the other thing. If you want to go to the school, there are some classes, even though this is a specialized school, there are some classes that they don't have to really do with what you want to do. But the instructors, they're great. The instructors are awesome. They try to relate it, make it as relatable as possible. And it's just interesting stuff, personally. I think it's really interesting. So, really great stuff today. A lot of reading. I decided not to really talk about what the book talked about, just because there was just so much information, man, let me tell you. It's just a lot of stuff, and it's hard to soak it all in sometimes, but I managed to do pretty well today. So hopefully I can keep it up. I will keep it up, because I'm I'm here for business. I'm not screwing around, you know. I'd probably say 80% of today was spent reading this stuff and trying to get it down. And a lot of it's stuff that's going to help with school. What a surprise. So, anyway, I hope, you know, again, you're kind of hopefully getting a better understanding of what the classes are like. I think Rain, yesterday, she said, audio recordings are fine, but I don't want to end up on YouTube. So basically she said, no videos. Like, I can't get video of her actually teaching stuff. One, I think it's not allowed by the school. And two, you know, she asked not to, so I'm not going to. I'll get video of the classroom, but I'm not. It's going to be like during the break or something. So, unfortunately, I can't videotape any of the class content and put it up here. I can tell you what we learned, but I can't actually tape it. I'll get in trouble. And so will Rain probably. And so yeah, I'll probably do that tomorrow. Look forward to some classroom footage. It's just a big room. It's really nice. The sound system in there is awesome. Like, my instructor has music playing during the break, before class, and even after class. So it's a good environment. I feel really comfortable. I do. I feel really good at this school because it's everything I could have asked for. You know, it's just the perfect school. I think I love it. So for all you Full Sail enthusiasts, don't be discouraged by anything. Trust me. If you think you want to go to the school and you've kind of checked it out and you're like, yeah, maybe we'll should definitely do the behind the scenes tour. Really take a look at the place. And even if you Google like reviews on Full Sail, you're gonna get all the negative crap about, oh, it's a ripoff, it's a scam. It's not. It's what you put into it. You know, like all the people that write that stuff, it probably, you know, came here to party because it's, you know, Central Florida, it's Orlando, and they thought it would be easy because it's such a short program, and they probably just didn't do the homework, you know. But if you definitely, you know, have a passion for the music or the film or just whatever you do, and this school seems right for you, check it out, man. You know, it's quite a place. I've only been to one class so far, and I love it. I couldn't imagine going anywhere else. So definitely check out Full Sail. You know, obviously, if you're checking out the video, we have some interest, so I'm encouraging you, check it out further. Like, I hope the videos are helping, but go to the website, come down here and check out the campus if you're able to. I know, I can't remember the dates. I definitely know there's a behind-the-scenes tour October 16th, I do believe, but I'm not sure about August or September. But I will definitely be helping out with the behind-the-scenes tour in October because I've been here long enough. But anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. Yeah, have a good day or night, wherever you are, or whenever you are, I should say. And yeah, I'll see you back tomorrow with some footage of what the classroom looks like. And I'll say the desks are a little small, but that's not the point. You'll see. Alright, I'll catch you tomorrow.